Due to the versatility of the shoulder joint, it really opens up the doors for a lot of people to do a lot of things in the gym that would classify as a total fucking waste of time when training shoulders. And the reason is because anytime you move your upper arm in any direction, something in the shoulder is producing force to some degree to promote that movement. So anytime you move your arm, you're training shoulders to some degree. So this opens up the floodgates for the idiots to go fucking nuts when training shoulders. And one of the stupidest things you'll see people do is they'll do a lateral raise, rotate the arms to the front of the body, and do an eccentric rep of a front raise. Then they'll reverse the motion. They'll do a front raise, rotate the arms to the side of the body, and do an eccentric rep of a lateral raise. And you say, well, why is that a total fucking waste of time? That doesn't look that bad. Well, here's the thing. Anytime you're assessing and evaluating an exercise, you got to look at two things: the direction of effort and the direction of resistance. If these two forces don't oppose each other, then the muscles responsible for the effort are not being loaded. And if you're not loading the muscles responsible for the effort, what the fuck are you doing? You're being inefficient with your energy. So when you do a lateral raise, that's efficient use of your energy. Front raise, efficient use of your energy. When you add this rotational element, the direction of effort is not being opposed by resistance. Because when you're holding a free weight on planet Earth, due to what we call gravity, the direction of resistance is always going to be going down. And if you're not sure of this, let go of the weight, get the fuck out of the way. There's your answer. That's the direction of resistance. So when you add this rotational element, the direction of effort is to bring the arms across the midline of the body or to push them away from the midline of the body. The muscles responsible for these efforts are not being opposed by resistance. Therefore, it's a total fucking waste of time. Now, one of the other things you want to look at when doing an exercise is there congruency between the direction of effort and the orientation of the muscle? When you're doing a front raise, there's congruency. When you're doing a lateral raise, there's congruency. Congruency basically means if you look at where the muscle starts and where the muscle finishes, you want an exercise that mimics the motion, that pulls those 2 points as far apart from each other as possible, so that when you produce force to promote an effort, your intention is to bring those 2 points as close together as possible. So when you do a lateral raise and a front raise, you're doing that. When you're doing this rotational shit, the direction of effort isn't opposed by resistance, and there's no real congruency between the direction of effort and the orientation of the muscles responsible for the effort in the first place. Now, you want to take a look at the biomechanics of the exercise itself to see what muscles are being overloaded and where, because you choose an exercise probably to impose a demand on a muscle. So when you do a lateral raise or a front raise, we got to look at the lever and the direction of resistance. The lever is just the upper arm bone. So when you're doing a lateral raise, the lever is perpendicular to the direction of resistance, which is going down when your arms are at your side. Same thing with the front raise, except your arms are now in front of your body. This is when the muscles have to do the most amount of work to overcome the resistance. And then you also got to look at a muscle's capacity to produce force is going to be at its highest when it's at or near its mid-range, and its lowest when it's in its shortest and longest positions. So when you do a lateral raise, the side delt's in its shortest position when it has to do the most amount of work to overcome the resistance. You probably chose this exercise to impose a demand on the side delt. Why would you want to alleviate the tension on that muscle by adding a rotational element that's only inefficient with energy, and the direction of effort is not opposed by resistance? It's a total fucking waste of time, and the same could be said from going from a front raise to the side. Now, some people say, isn't it a better shoulder builder though? Isn't it kind of like a 2-in-1 type of thing? Instead of doing lateral raises and front raises, I'll just do them all together. Jack of all trades, master of none. Look, why are you training in the first place? Probably to look better, feel better, perform better, improve your health profile. You pick an exercise to load a muscle or group of muscles to promote a response. Training is basically problem solving. Where's your problem? And we're going to try to solve it with the exercises that we select. If your shoulders are your problem, then why the fuck are you choosing an exercise that has a rotational element in which the direction of effort is not opposed by resistance, and you can only use like 10-pound dumbbells in the first place? Why wouldn't you pick a shoulder press where you can use way more weight and perform way more reps? Greater load, greater time under optimal tension, greater result. So you choose raises because they address a problem that you might have. So if the side delt is a problem, you choose a lateral raise. If the front delt is a problem, you choose a front raise. You cater the way you do those exercises, the reps and sets that you do, based on the response that you want to promote. You don't want to pick exercises that are just inefficient use of energy. If you're unsure of whether or not it's wise to be inefficient with your energy, why don't you ask Conor McGregor how that went for him? You want to be as efficient with your energy as possible because you only have a limited capacity that you can recover from. So you want to pick the right exercises and the right tools for the job, and you want to do them the right way. Adding this rotational element, inefficient use of energy, the direction of effort is not opposed by resistance at all. It's a total fucking waste of time. And then one more thing that people will say, well, I feel it burning more. So doesn't that mean something? Well, here's the thing. Why are your muscles burning in the first place? It's a byproduct of the energy that they have to produce to do the efforts that you're doing. Basically, by not allowing the muscles to disengage, you can promote that effect. You don't need to add a rotational element to do it. You want them to burn? Hold this position. Just hold it. You want it to burn? Hold this position. Just hold it. It's going to increase the time under tension, and you're going to get that burning feeling that makes you feel like you're actually doing more work. You don't need to add this rotational element. If you've been watching this series so far, volume 1, 2, and 3, what you will have noticed, the common theme here, is people are adding these rotational elements, and the direction of resistance does not oppose them. It's a total fucking waste of time. Always go back to those two factors. Direction of effort, direction of resistance. If they're not opposing each other, you're wasting your fucking time. You like the information, share it. Click the fucking button at the bottom. Subscribe to the channel. I'll keep bringing it.